was in the Cadillac, grave digger. Money over on my install. Here lies young, getting paid, but never take a loss on my install. Only take a when I'm dead. I be gang 3 times on my install. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the install. Too late, you already dead. Right now I'm on the edge, so don't push me. Troublesome since 96. You a shook one, Reeves and all the ledge. I'm your, what's that? I smell.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Jets. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. A few minutes ago, the hometown Jets were introduced to this sellout crowd, and it's a roar that could be heard across the river in Manhattan. They're set to go as their Jets will match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club, and they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Our Darius Stewart now on the return. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by a guy who only became a starter relatively late in his career. It's the well-traveled veteran, Josh McCown.
If you just break it down in individual terms, he played really well last week. 0 interceptions, 3 touchdown passes. Not a whole lot more he could have done to win that game. But you know something's funny, when we talked to him, all he focused on were throws he missed, other opportunities that didn't get done.
Good sign of a leader.
Great sign of a leader.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Anthony Barr. In from his linebacker's spot, he's able to drop him for a loss of about 10.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit him with a screen soon.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
On 3rd and long, it's McCown. Complete, this is Lewis. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. A loss of 8 on the play, and it brings up 4th. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. This will be fielded at the 17. A big hitter that time in the punt game. 66 yards on the boot. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd down, Cook. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, there'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. Spinning past him. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Now let's go! 3-19! 3-19! Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
A toss to Cook. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now.
And Brandon, as we continue to see, so much of the influence on this game is now coming from those hybrid-type players. In this case, strong safety, not worried about covering the pass. What a play on the run.
Tackled for a loss.
Yeah, forget the pregame introductions. Introduced himself with authority on that play.
Detroit! Detroit! Now let's go!
Third and long. It's Simeon. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They are going to go. It's Simeon. That's to his running back, complete. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game, and that will force a turnover on downs. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. Fourth and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided if there's a time to be aggressive, now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one, and look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But fourth and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seemed a little bit on the irrational side.
Fans might be a little angry at that one. On second down, here's McCown. It's caught by Quincy Enunwa. Still going. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
He'll be stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't free him. On the tackle, it's Trey Waynes.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. Into the red zone now. It's McCown. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing is McCown on third down. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Mercedes Lewis, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Jets have taken a first-quarter lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for a score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And now out comes Minnesota. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Again, this is Cook. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
No, check, Patriot! Over!
On the toss, Bernard. A big play there for Minnesota. 46 yards on the ground. So he rips off a great run and shows you why this year he's top 10 in rushing in the league.
And looks like he's trying to move up fast on the leaderboard, doesn't he? Top 10, looks like he's running to get into the top 5.
Watch him now, Barney!
First down, here's the run with Cook. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
All right, here we go. Blue landed!
Handoff comes to Cook. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Carlson now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And from down in Miami, an update. The Dolphins have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. New York set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So McCown comes up as the Jets have it 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They start this with a run for Powell. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Now McCown throws incomplete there on 3rd down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
All right, let's focus now on Giovanni Bernard. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
They start the drive with Cook. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. They'll face a 3rd down conversion attempt here, 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And some space here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Give them a lot of credit. They ended up running the ball on a key 3rd down situation. They were staring 3 and out in the face and found a way to flip the script and keep the ball moving on offense.
Green 39! Green 39!
Now Cook. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Green 39!
Now a carry for Bernard. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Now let's go! Green 30.
Out of the gun, Simeon. And that is incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Indeed going for it, Simeon. He can run for it, and he will. And he slides to avoid the hit. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46.
Lucky 56! Lucky 56! Leopard! Leopard!
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
From the 50, it's Simeon. And he rifles one incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
From the gun on 3rd, Simeon. He drops it off for Bernard. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
They converted once earlier in this drive, but they'll roll the dice here again on 4th down.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Over.
They'll run for it. Cook. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one.
I like the reasoning. It's too far for a field goal, and it's too short to really get a big field position edge on a punt. Let's go for it. And sure enough, it's the ground game that's able to convert for him on 4th down.
They'll run it here to Bernard. And an alley to run. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They run. Cook. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Now let's go. Green, 39. Green.
Now Bernard. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
They'll run for it with Cook, and he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone. They get it to him running left. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. This time, the extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And what a drive that was. 16 plays all told. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On 1st down, McCown. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Anthony Barr. pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
McCown throwing on second. And the pressure gets to him again. Anthony Barr in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And another timeout called by the Vikings now. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for New York. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be taken at the 13. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. Good returns on the last drive. He hit the end zone for the second time. Good returns in this first half, really.
Yeah, good returns for his team. Really good returns for the guy. You know where I'm going. Darn right. Those fantasy guys who have him on their team, they're rejoicing right now, and they have a high expectation that what they've seen already will continue.
More. You talk about fantasy line, but you don't. Why don't you just play? You don't.
I'm not good enough to play the fantasy game. I enjoy watching.
You're an analyst. You're an expert.
I mean, you were a champ last year. Keep it up.
5th place.
Okay. Well, that's a champ in my book.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now a toss play to Bernard. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Watch it now, Barney.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Watch it now, Barney. Watch it now, Barney.
They pitch it out to Cook. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it. Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And it's a rush to the line right now for the Jets. McCown to throw on second down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On third down, that's Powell. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. Sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense. Kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist. You know, that good stuff. Got to knock that off somehow. Chip away at that timing. Change things up a little bit and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Yeah, try to make him uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Give him 30 yards there. From the red zone now, Simeon. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Morris Claiborne, the former #1 pick of the Cowboys there defensively. Simeon incomplete on first. Here's 2nd and 10 now.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
To the air again, Simeon. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Not time enough for a play and then a timeout, you wouldn't think. So with 4 seconds left, they're going for it. Final shot before break. Simeon pushing, and that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs as time expires in the first half, and the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. You knew time was going to run out, so this had to be in the end zone, and somehow they were able to find a window and get it done.
Very easy for us to talk about up here that, yes, all that had to happen, but when time's running down, sometimes...
The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half, let's do it. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. Akeem Hunt now to return. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to maneuver. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41.
Now let's go! Blue, land it!
They'll run. It's Presley. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now the Purdue man. This is Akeem Hunt. Wow, evasive.
Make a miss.
Almost unstoppable on the ground there, as that one is good for 39.
Now, that was a big run. It takes them all the way down to the 1-yard line, and that'll shake the confidence of any defense. So when they're looking for a little bit of support now, looking at their defensive coordinator, if I'm him, I dial up some pressure. I just go after him, because otherwise you're still heading back on your heels, and that's not going to help your defense at all.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Back 99 Philly, here we go! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Back 99 Philly, here we go! Over, 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 over!
He'll get it up the middle, and he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Anthony Barr in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Here we go, Ready? Go!
Working from the gun. McCown, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect
No
him.
one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone. He's going to get it running right, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there, taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And he just tied the NFL record on that 5th rushing touchdown. He's the 6th man ever to do that in a single game.
And, partner, did you just say that he tied an NFL record there?
Yes, sir.
I mean, we're talking 5 touchdowns on the ground against an NFL-caliber defense.
Is that good?
I'd say that's fantastic. What a game for him.
It really is something. We are watching quite the effort. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. McCown throwing there, and it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Here we go. Ready, hut. Ready, hut.
From the gun on 3rd, McCown. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. Back to throw, Simeon. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. In for the score. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And the Jets set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. What's that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Anthony Barr in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
From the gun, it's McCown. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Offense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Shotgun here for McCown. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Trevor Siemian ready to retake the field. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the third quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with the recipe of the ground game. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Watch it now, Barney.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And not much room to operate as they'll get this up only to about the 41. The Pro Bowler, Muhammad Wilkerson, brings him down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
A shotgun snap for Siemian. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Gun! Leopard! 3 down. Hey, check. Over!
Now they'll run it on the toss. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Watch it now, Barney! Over!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Over!
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Patriot! Watch it now, Barney!
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
Gone!
They run it again with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterback's like there's blitz coming, and down he goes. Anthony Barr in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. McCown. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is taken at about the 14. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. A good return there. 17. Yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Man, when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
And they'll run it here. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Vikings on third down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
They'll run again with Presley. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
Brandon, this is why play callers get the big bucks. This wasn't a 4th and inches call. You get into situations like 4th and 3, 4th and 4. You've got a tough decision to make. Very gutsy play here, and they pick up the first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. To the right and complete to Galladay. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
They go play action here on first down. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're taking a stand right here, right now.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. New York set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And McCown's throw there, incomplete. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Throwing now is McCown. Anthony Barr in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
On 3rd and long, it's McCown. And an open man, it's a noon one. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This will be taken at the 10. Nifty move. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And out now come the Vikings. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction, because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together.
All right, now, look at 56.
I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
Watch you now, Barney. Watch you now, Barney.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Ordinarily in short yardage, most people don't run a toss because it takes a little bit longer to develop. But some teams see it as a very physical type run because the amount of people that get out in front of the runner, offensive linemen, tight ends, sometimes an extra back, they like to run that play there and try and run over people.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Now, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This is 3rd and 4. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Watch you now, Barney.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
95, Mike, watch 95.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Over.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, he shifts past him. Had a nice broken tackle, and then brought down right around the 20. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Now they'll run it on the toss. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Trevor Siemian ready to retake the field. He has really been buoyed here by a strong running attack. They've been great on the ground.
And have enjoyed the entire process because oftentimes when you're running the football well, that's much more of a team effort. Everyone has to come together to make it work. Offensive line, wide receivers, the tight ends when they're on the field, maybe an extra running back leading. It is a really nice thing to see, a team type of thing. And guess what? The quarterback, he can get out of the locker room a whole lot faster after this game. The interviews are going to go to the running back.
Yeah, now we hit the home stretch here in the fourth with their lead. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Here's Presley. Room to run past midfield. And finally down at the 32-yard line. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points from me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
This fielded at the 2. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. One final try for McCown. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.